Integrity means living in harmony with the great cosmic law of cause and effect, the biblical law of sowing and reaping. Never expect to reap more than you've sown or to harvest before your crop has had time to grow. Never expect to get more or different from what you put in. There's a beautiful poem by Jerry Buchanan called Living and Giving, or The Law of Life, and I'd like to quote it here in full. It says, "Whatever you give away today, or think, or say, or do, will multiply about tenfold and then return to you. It may not come immediately, nor from the obvious source, but the law applies unfailingly through some invisible force. Whatever you feel about another, be it love or hate or passion, will surely bounce right back at you in some clear or secret fashion. If you speak about some person a word of praise or two, soon tens of other people will speak kind words to you. Our thoughts are broadcasts of the soul, not secrets of the brain. Kind ones bring us happiness, petty ones untold pain. Giving works as surely as reflections in a mirror. If hate you send, hate you'll get back. But loving brings love nearer. Remember, as you start this day, and duty crowds your mind, that kindness comes so quickly back to those who first are kind. Let that thought and this one direct you through each day. The only things we ever keep are the things we give away. So never expect to get something for nothing, and never pursue get-rich-quick schemes. There are no rewards without long, hard hours and years of steady, dependable work. Many of us start off in our 20s and our 30s, and we want to be millionaires by the time we're 30 or 40. But the average age of self-made millionaires in America, and there's over 850,000 of them, is 57 years. Most people become wealthy after the age of 40, mostly because they chop and change and try different things and take shortcuts for their 20s and 30s, and it's only after the age of 40 that they settle down to the long, hard, dependable, steady, consistent work that achieves great wealth. P.T. Barnum, the great circus master, said, "There's a sucker born every minute, and someone to take him every 59 seconds. A fool and his money are soon parted, and every day people throw away valued time and hard-earned money looking for a quick kill, looking for some way to get money without working for it. Greed, wanting something without paying full price for it, is the opposite of integrity. I once read the confession of a con man who claimed that the only person in the world that he couldn't swindle was an honest man. He said everyone else was easy to swindle because they were motivated by greed. They were looking for something for nothing. Forbes magazine said recently with regard to hot tips in the stock market, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Integrity means accepting that you are responsible for your life and never complaining. It means accepting that you are where you are and what you are as a result of your own conduct and your own behavior, no one else's. Henry Ford said it well, never complain, never explain. If you don't like the way things are, get busy and change them. And if you're not willing to change them, then don't complain. The dictionary definition of integrity is wholeness, oneness, unity, complete, without fault, perfect. And in the physical realm, living a life of integrity means taking care of your body and your health. Edwin Markham, the famous poet, was quoted recently under the photograph of a very fat man, belly hanging over his belt. The quote asked, "Is this the thing the Lord made and gave, to have dominion over earth and heaven?" We are given the most beautiful body in the universe, and part of living a life of integrity is taking good care of that body, recognizing it as the temple of the soul, if you like, as the temple of the Supreme Being. You can apply this question to yourself. Look at the way you treat your body. Look at the things you do to it. Is this part of living a life of complete integrity? One of the best rules for healthy living is to resolve right now to outlive your doctor and take care of yourself as though you plan to live to 100. One of the things that you should do is set a goal to live to be 100 years old, and then sit down and make a plan and look at everything that you're doing today and ask, is this going to assure that I live to the maximum lifespan possible? What many people do in their younger years is they do things to their bodies. They smoke and drink to excess. They don't exercise. They eat the wrong foods. And they pay for it very, very dearly with degenerative diseases, senility, pain, and sometimes incapacitation later on in life. The time to start planning to live a long life is as young as possible. And we also know that the inability to discipline yourself with regard to physical appetites leads to a lack of discipline in other things. People who are incapable of disciplining their physical appetites are usually suspect by people who expect them to act in a disciplined, organized fashion in other areas. Finally, integrity means to always do what is right and moral in the eyes of God and man. Remember, as Emerson said, there is a third silent party to all our bargains. Guard your integrity as a sacred thing. Practice the universal maxim of philosopher Immanuel Kant, who said, "Live your life as though your every act were to become a universal law." Always err on the side of fairness in your dealings with others, especially when you have the upper hand. Practice the golden rule, and do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Love your neighbor as yourself, and do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Here's a good question to ask yourself at regular intervals to keep yourself on track. It's a hard question, but it's a good one. Ask, what kind of a world would this world be if everybody in it was just like me? Or, what kind of a country would America be if everybody in it was just like me? Or what kind of a company would my company be if everybody in it were just like me? If you live your life alone and with others, as you would like to be remembered as a role model for others, you will feel the deep down pride and satisfaction of being a whole person, a light unto your world. And finally, remember that nothing is at last sacred but the integrity of your own mind. Never compromise it for anything or anyone.